Well, that's good to the last drop. Well, when you have an empty plastic bottle, you know what to do with it? You recycle it. Hi, I'm Steve Keim and welcome to City Connections. Well, I'm in the right place. I'm at the drop-off location for recyclables here in Enid. And did you know that Enid is going green? Our community's going green, and in honor of that, well, green shirt. Sorry about that. We are at the drop-off center, if you will, and it's at Chestnut and Grand. It's also near Frisco Park. This is where you bring your empty plastic bottles and your canned Cokes that are empty, and also your newspapers. Welcome to City Connections as we talk about recycling in Enid, Oklahoma.
Enid, Oklahoma, from wheat fields to the economic hub of northwest Oklahoma. The social, medical, and educational center for the region. Enid is a safe and economic place to live, work, and raise a family. A city with an entrepreneurial spirit. Enid is a community overflowing with boundless opportunities, building an original heritage and pulsating with a vibrant quality of life. Now join Steve Keim as he brings another exciting edition of City Connections.
Thank you for staying with us on City Connections. We've left the drop-off site for recycling here in Enid, Oklahoma, and we've made it to the processing center. Well, I've got a special guest, Patricia Fossum, right?
Yep.
Patricia, welcome to City Connections. Thanks for inviting us out to the processing center today.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us about this, this recycling stuff. How did you get involved?
I've been recycling for a really long time. I just moved from Iowa back in February. Recycling is really big in Iowa, and I started a recycling program for the University of Iowa. I noticed the trash cans didn't have anything recycling next to it, and so if I had drank a soda or a bottle of water, I had nowhere to put it unless I walked all the way home and then recycled it at home. So I started thinking, okay, well, I can't be the only one having this problem. So I got with the school officials and we started talking about it, and they agreed, and we started with 20 bins around the campus, and now it's over 200 bins at the campus. They realized that there's a lot and a need for recycling. I came down here to Oklahoma and recycling wasn't really talked about, or there wasn't much notoriety for it, so I kind of took the initiative to start city recycling in the city buildings. So I started that program, and then from that the city took over this recycling program from the state when the state closed Norris down. So I decided to jump in feet first and try to get everything worked out for where things were going, what we were doing, what we were processing, and then try to get more goods coming to us instead of going to the landfill.
Well, based on what you've just shared, it seems like you've spent a lifetime in regards to recycling, where just a handful of individuals said, well, I hear about this recycling thing. I know Enid is going green. By the way, I got the appropriate shirt today. I thought I would go green as well. But seriously, people talk about it, but they're really not sure how to contribute. So we wanted to do this show and just really enlighten everyone about what's going on in regards to recycling here in Enid. So we're at the processing center. A lot of traffic out here, Patricia.
Yes.
Tell us what's going on. I see people showing up with stuff and then they're leaving with stuff. What's happening?
Well, at our drop site, we have, that's where our residents go to drop off their goods. Here, we don't have a very big facility, and we don't have kind of the manpower to take individual cars. So that's why we have our drop-off center. Everybody goes to the drop-off center if you have a bag of bottles or cans or something, and then we have large trailers there. The trailers get filled up, they bring them here. And when they come here, we throw them in a baler, and then we compress it all down and make these large bales, as you can see behind us. So then once we have enough bales, we load them on a semi-truck. And our cardboard goes down to Lawton right now. It gets made into the paper backing for drywall. Our plastics and our mixed paper goes down to the Dallas region, and then there's companies down there that will shred the plastic, melt it down, and use it for other things. And then our mixed paper usually gets made into things like paper towels, like the rolls for paper towels and toilet paper and things like that. Just normal things that you don't think about being recycled goods.
I guess the message behind all of that is is that as we're at home and we set aside cans here and plastics here and paper there, that it does have a future home. It may be going to Lawton or it may be going to another community, but it has another life. And we need to be, I guess, get into that mindset that, well, I know it's easy to throw it in the trash, but if we would just discipline ourselves to do that. Do you think that's one of the keys, just discipline, to get into that routine, if you will?
I think it comes down to a lot of convenience. It's kind of hard, you know, when you're sitting at home and you're drinking a bottle of soda and you're just, okay, well, I'm done with it, now what do I do with it? And a lot of people throw it in the trash, and then the city truck comes and picks it up and throws it, and then it's in the landfill for thousands of years. Whereas if you take that extra 5 minutes and put it in a separate bag and take it to our drop site, that bottle can be made into another bottle or a t-shirt or a fleece or something else that's made out of plastic instead of spending the rest of its life trapped in a landfill.
I noticed you said the word soda. In Oklahoma, we say pop or something like that. But it's interesting, our terminology. But again, whatever term that we use, there's a place and a category for it to recycle.
Correct.
I know you have a special staff out here at the processing center. And again, we're on West Spruce here in Enid. Tell us about your staff that you have here.
The main reason the city took over the recycling program was to make sure that the developmental disabled people that were working for the state for Norris still had a place to work. And there's not a lot of places that will hire people that might take a little bit more effort or might not be able to produce as much work as they would say. And for us, we just wanted to make sure that our community had a place for these people to go and have a job to come to every day and to be able to help the community in whichever way that they can.
Patricia Fossum is my special guest on City Connections today. Thank you for staying with us. We'll have more interesting facts and figures about recycling and how you can help to continue to make Enid the green community it needs to be. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to City Connections. This is our Recycle Show. My special guest, Patricia Fossum. Patricia, we got some cardboard. It's really technical word, scrunched together. It's smashed together.
Yes.
I guess this took place inside. Tell us a little bit about all these stacks of cardboard.
We have a large baler inside, and we have a conveyor belt, and when they drop off a trailer, they empty it out and they scoop it in this pit. And the pit takes it up on a conveyor belt, and then it goes into this big baler, and this big arm kind of crunches it together. And once it gets full, it stays compacted like that, and then they take these wires and they wrap them around, and they let the compression out a little bit, and then they pull the bales out. So.
And is this an example of what you were talking about earlier? Gets loaded on a semi-truck and may go to Lawton or go to another destination?
These bales usually weigh a little bit over 2,000 pounds a piece.
So that's 1 ton.
Yep, and we usually get about 20 to 24 on a semi-truck. So we usually process 2 semi-truck loads about a month. So.
Okay, you mentioned 1 ton here. I'm curious, in Enid alone, what's the volume, let's say per month, of recyclable goods? How many tons would that be?
We usually average right around 60 tons a month. Usually about 40 of that is cardboard. This is our main contributor. And then the rest is, you know, our mixed paper, plastic, and aluminum cans and tin cans.
So 60 tons sounds like a humongous amount to me. But overall, big picture of recycling, what kind of impact does that have on Enid?
Our 60 tons a month is a little bit less than 1% of what's actually going to the landfill.
Wow. So we got room to improve, I guess.
We have lots of room to improve, and even though our program's small right now, we hope to increase it to 2 or 3 times the size it is now, but hopefully maybe next year or year after that. There's so much room to expand from where we are right now.
Patricia, that leads into my next question. Someone who's watching our program, they may be at school, they may be in a retirement center, they just may be at home. What words of encouragement or what direction would you give them to say, if you're out of school, and you want to start a recycle program, what are 1, 2, 3 easy steps to get this going to help you out?
Your easiest step to start a recycling program and to get into recycling is to just get the word out. Just say that you're interested in recycling and that you want to just put a couple bins somewhere. Even if you're in office recycling or at a school, approach somebody that's in charge and say, hey, I want to put a bin here for paper recycling. Let's see what we can do with just this one bin. And you'd be surprised at how many people will actually participate if you just start something for them.
Well, you are the most knowledgeable person that I've met in regards to recycling, and during my tenure here at Enid. What's the phone number that people can call you or call your department? They say, you know, I need to talk to Patricia. She's got some answers I know for me. How can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, my office phone number is 616-7311, and that will get you right to me if you have any questions about recycling, where to go, what to do, what we take. I have no problem answering anybody's questions.
Okay, and we know that individuals watch these programs on YouTube across the country, so that's area code 580-616-7311?
Yes.
Okay, I got through that. The other question I have for you is, when somebody's just really kind of on the line of starting, what can you really just share with them that would encourage them, today's the day, to really recycle?
The biggest thing that sometimes people don't realize is, especially with plastic, plastic's made out of oil, and oil's big here in Oklahoma, correct? And it takes about, if you take one of those bottles and you fill it a third full of oil, that's about how much oil it takes to make that one bottle. Through processing and shipping, it's about a third of the bottle of oil is what it takes for one plastic bottle. So instead of taking that and throwing it in a landfill for thousands of years, take that one bottle and let it become 5 bottles, 6 bottles, let it continue on its life. And don't just throw things away, because everything has a use. It's not garbage, it's goods.
Well, that's encouragement for me. Patricia, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate the work that you're doing for the city of Enid. Thank you for staying with us. I'll have some closing comments right after this. I have never seen so many pork and bean cans in my entire life, but that's the way it should be right here at the drop-off center in Enid, Oklahoma. We're at Chestnut and Graham. That's where you can drop off your cans, your plastic and newspapers, all a part of Enid going green. You know what I mean? Thank you for joining us on City Connections. Keep in mind, if you want to start a recycling program, you can call Patricia. Her number is 580-616-7311. There's some Facebook information that you can go check them out. You can like them, and we'll continue to go green here in Enid, Oklahoma. Thank you for joining us on City Connections. Until the next time, make it a great day. If you have any suggestions for a program, feel free to send me a note at asksteve@enid.org. That's asksteve@enid.org.